What's up, all you figure collectors? 1/6, 1/4, 1/8, 1/10, 1/12, statue collectors and hobbyists. Welcome to another edition of Figure This, Figure That, the Don's Figure Chat. Okay, today we're doing Commander Roy from A Bridge Too Far. It was based off a General Urquhart, who was the actual commander in charge of the Red Devils when they landed at Arnhem. Spectacular figure, which you can expect from DID when it comes to military. But before I go forward, I'd just like to give a huge shout out to my dad, whom I love very much and who has helped me to set up this new studio. So Dad, you're a legend, and people would be lucky all over the world to have you as a dad. Okay, so as you can see, it's Sean Connery. I left the style duck off, which is that, so we could see the likeness. The amount of detail on this figure is staggering, eh? If I go in, you can actually see the detailing on the belt buckle or the harness buckle for the parachute. It really is a work of art. The machine gun, metal and wood. And that magazine, you actually load with bullets. How's that for a nice touch? So he's got his paratrooper smock on, as you can see. He's got his duffel bag strapped to his leg. In that duffel bag would have came all of this. So you have his Kruitsak with sleeping blanket. You have his Webley holster and map bag underneath. You have his webbing with the die-cast bayonet scabbard. You have the wood and metal enchanting tool, metal binoculars, metal hand grenades, and this Webley is something else. When you break it open and take the cylinder out, you can actually remove all the bullets, which I thought was a sterling touch. You come over here, you get the hands, which I must admit were a bit of a letdown, especially the trigger hand. It doesn't hold the weapon at all, neither the machine gun or the Webley. At the moment, I'm using John Wick hands. Yeah, and they look dope, eh? There's all his rank and insignia, which I haven't put on yet. You also get a fully usable 1/6 scale parachute. You get the pipe, his watch, the Fairburn size commando dagger, die-cast bayonet, bendy hands, 2 expressive hands. When you open the box, you greet it with this. That's the insert. And that there is the art box. If you look at his back, he has got a full parachute already tucked into the parachute bag. So you can actually set him up. And I've seen a video online where the guy threw him off the roof with parachute deployed. Honestly, spectacular figure, eh? Spectacular, from the rope harnesses to the toggle ropes to his boots that are real leather with hobnails underneath. They've really gone to town. I'd say one disappointment is the way that the pouches are connected to the webbing. The web belt and the connectors, they're not of the best. But, I mean, you can make do, you know, but I think they could have did a better job on those. Because you look at Saving Private Ryan, okay, it's a later figure. They are second to none when it comes to the webbing and stuff. They've even, I don't know if you can see it there, the duffel bag fits over his boot so that when he lands, as everyone who knows who's jumped out of a plane, 2 feet are preferable to 1. I've got him on a stand at the moment because he's got a lot of gear. But yeah, man, what a beautiful, beautiful piece. I mean, that likeness is spot on. Spot on. You could use that for a James Bond custom kit bash. So he's got his battle smock underneath, ready to go into action. As I say, he's holding the machine gun, which, believe you me, is a work of art on its own. It cocks, it does everything a proper weapon should do. Excuse the shake, I'm using a new gimbal here, and yeah, it's not allowing me the slightest bit of movement without a shake. So bear with me until we get used to this whole new concept. But look at that, man. That would grace any military figures collection. The Hessian-like material of the British uniform underneath is like spot on, spot on. He looks the part. And even when you take this paratrooper smock off, and he's just got the battle smock, the camouflage one, it's just, honestly, works of art, eh? The tailoring, you can even see the government issue labels, and you can read the writing inside. It's just, yeah, second to none, really. The level of detailing is just, yeah. I think the body lets it down a bit as well. I'm thinking of changing it out for a coup model body. I would go Fission, but there's not much use because you don't see it, you know. But you'll see when he gets down to just his British uniform, so when he's like that, he just doesn't, the body doesn't look right and it doesn't feel right. He feels too thin for the size of the man, you know. But yeah, that's the only nitpick I've got is the body and the attaching hooks for the webbing. But other than that, I mean, he is a paratrooper after all. They've applied all the skill and detailing to the parabat, to the paratrooper. South Africa, they call parabats. All their skill and detailing to the paratrooper outfit, which is really, really nice, eh? When you're putting it together, it feels so real. But yeah, very beautiful piece from DID. Dragon in Dreams. I actually got this from Top Toys 1 on eBay. And I'd like to give them a shout out as well because they went out of their way to help me, which they didn't have to do. And I got a wee present off them as well. I'll show you that in the next shot. So when I get rid of most of his gear, you know, so I can dress him in his gear. And yeah, I can show you the wee present I got. I love him, eh? I love him. As I say, I've left the Stalduck off so that you could see the likeness to Sean Connery. That's really, really good. Really good. So yeah, I'm looking forward to posing him up to show you some dope poses. Well, what our class is dope, maybe you don't. I'll just go over everything quickly before we start going mad. He comes with the duffel with all the attachments that attach to the paratrooper harness. He comes with a fully folded parachute in the parachute bag with full harness and locking mechanism. He comes with a machine gun, which is loadable. He comes with the battle Stalduck. He comes with a 1/6 scale parachute, all his insignia, smoking pipe, watch, Fairburn size commando knife, die-cast bayonet, bendy hands, expressive hands. his toggle rope. You come over here, you've got his beret with the Webley holster and map bag. His Urquhart with sleeping blanket underneath the beret. Die cast and wood entrenching tool. Die cast scabbard for the die cast bayonet. You get his Webley with the bullets that are removable. You get the binoculars that are die cast. 2 fragmentation grenades. That's his art box, which you've seen quite a bit already. World War II, British Airborne, Red Devil Commando. You've seen the insert, which is in the British uniform. And you've seen the figure, which is him. So we'll just do a quick up and downer. There we go. And honestly, you won't, you'd be over the moon with this figure if you're into military figures. He's really something else, eh? So with that said, I'll be back the new with some different poses. Don't hold your breath. Okay, that's me back again with Commander Roy in full battle regalia. So he's got his webbing on. He's got his machine gun. A couple of grenades. He's taking a recce and having a look around at the situation of what's going on. That's his map bag, you can see. There's his Fairburn Sykes, his commando knife. This is all the gear he would have discarded. The parachute would have been out of there. It would have been folded and hidden under a bush or dug into a hole. His paratrooper smock would have lain where he landed. He would have stripped out of that straight away. His duffel, he would have had most of the kit that he's got on inside of it, but that still would have come with him. The only things he hasn't got on is his watch, his pipe, and his regalia. But look at that, man, for realism. That's him, eh? That is just him. So now you can see the rifle, the automatic machine gun in better detail. It cocks. It loads with bullets. The bayonet fits onto the end and there's a hole through to allow passage of bullets. He's got his Webley attached to his hip with a lanyard leaving up to his lapel. Very easy figure to pose. Very easy figure to dress. As you can hear my voice, I'm just over the moon with him. And we owe these people so much, eh? They gave their lives for us. And if you've been in the forces, you'll know exactly what I mean. What they did on D-Day and the resulting attacks afterwards was just, lest we forget. Lest we forget. It's coming up to Poppy Day, so it's actually quite an apt subject to be doing for Poppy Day. He's got his beret tucked away. I remember as soon as we could, our berets were off, eh? Okay, we were up in the bush at first, and you get bush hats because obviously the heat in Southwest Africa on the previous strip gets quite heavy. But yeah, we used to go bareheaded as soon as we could. I doubt he would have been able to because he was a general, so he had to wear. But for this instance, he's got it tucked away. He's got his Urquhart on with sleeping bag, or sleeping blanket, I should say. He's got his webbing on with ammo pouches. His map bag round the corner. His entrenching tool is firmly encased in its own webbing at the back. You can't see it. And he's got 2 grenades strapped to his web belt. Beautiful, beautiful figure, eh? I mean, you could quite easily see that in the movie. Taking the knee, taking a recce, taking a look. So you could see what his options were. Now, these guys were at Arnhem, which was the bridge too far. They couldn't get supplies to them. They couldn't get troops to them. And Urquhart jumped in with his paratroopers and led the men into Arnhem to help stop the Germans from crossing Arnhem Bridge. Because the whole exercise was to destroy these bridges throughout Europe so the Germans couldn't get their panzer divisions across or supplies or the like. So yeah, they died in their droves at Arnhem. Died in their droves. Such brave men, eh? They were a hardier type back then. Not like today, you know. We're not as hardy as what these folks were. When my dad does go, he's the last of his kind. They don't make him like him anymore. Or like this fella, or the rest of the soldiers that gave their lives, who didn't give their lives, but fought bravely for us, you know, so we could lead this way of life. Sorry I sound melodramatic, but it's true. It's so true. These O's gave everything for us back home. Okay, I was just, I don't even think I was a twinkle in my dad's eye yet. He was a youngster during the war. He served in the Royal Navy as a diver. He was stationed in Hong Kong most of the time. That's where we lived. Look at that, man. It's so authentic. I love it, eh? I love it. And I know he should have his beret on, but I'm in charge, so he doesn't have to. Doesn't have to. You can see the wedding band of John Wick. I'm using John Wick hands because those trigger hands and holding hand, those two at the back, are just terrible. I don't think so much as the hands as it is the weapon. As you can see, look at the square stock. There was no ergonomics in those days. It was just get the rifle out and, start shooting. That's basically it. So, yeah, it's that realistic that the hands are not made to grip it. Those hands are made for gripping moderner weapons. Okay, well, that's enough of that then. I'll leave you with that shot, with him with all his gear, just about to join the fight. And I'll be back just now with another pose. Right, that's me back with the last costume change. So there he is. I suppose even generals are allowed to have a smoke. Still got his trusty machine gun by his side, 2 grenades, his ammo packs just in case. He's got his trusty Webley down by his Krutzak with his map bag and his binoculars. As I say, he's having a well-deserved break. He's had a rough time as of late. And I know it would look so much better with all his rank and insignia on, but I just hate using them because you end up losing them. But there's his British uniform, the British soldier, the khakis, and still looks dope, eh? No matter which way you pose this lad, he still looks dope. So have a look at all the gear. So he arrived with that duffel bag with the scarf on top and the parachute and the paratrooper smock. He then changed out into the battle smock with same webbing, but he would have had the entrenching tool and the toggle rope equipped. He would have had the Webley tied to his webbing, but for now he's taking a break, so he's not really bothered. Still carries his machine gun in case an enemy attack and he has to get on the hoof rather quickly. A beautiful, beautiful piece, eh? Really, I can't stress enough. And thanks to Top Toys for doing what they did for me. They went out of their way. Top Toys won on eBay. I think they actually model as Loft. I think that's who it is. I'm not too sure. But look at that, eh? He's got his beret on. Takes years to get that character in a beret. Here they've just sewn it in. You have to wet it and form it and wet it and form it. It takes ages. Even the boots, the front of the toes there, we would call that boning, where you sit for hours with melted shoe polish, rubbing it on, burnishing it, rubbing it on, burnishing it. And believe you me, for inspection, it's got to be done on all of your kit. And in the Navy, you get a lot of kit. But yeah, there he is, having a smoke break. General Urquhart from the Red Devils, played by Sean Connery as Commander Roy. A really, really dope piece. I hope you've enjoyed it. Just hang around and have a look. At the end of the video, there'll be a 360 shooting of him where you can see the whole thing in all its glory with no refinements added. It's just him and the video camera. So yeah, if you like, please hit subscribe. Please hit subscribe. Otherwise, we're dropping General Urquhart onto your property to shoot the shit out of you. Okay, that's enough mindless drivel from me. It's a very dope figure. I hope from my thoughts on it, it might make you want to get one. And if you do, hit up Top Toys. KG Hobby. Good, the Bad and the Robots. No, he doesn't do military figures, I don't think. Collectibles Direct. Monkey Depot. There's so many. So many. And they've all got lovely stuff. Lovely stuff. Okay. So I send my love to you and your families. Please stay healthy, stay safe. And yeah, the Don says, draw this moment out, draw this moment out. The Don says, peace out.